mean, some of these prints were being made as soon as I put in that application because something snapped. And I just started printing and printing and printing and printing. So Embodied began when I was still teaching in Tennessee. I went to what's called the Tennessee Arts Academy, and during a workshop there, I was introduced to gelli printing, and specifically using foliage with gelli printing. And I got this idea of how I connect myself with my healing journey with nature. And I started exploring some options, nothing super in stone just yet. And then when I stepped away from teaching, I had all of this time now to kind of dive and devote to it. And then I started to come to this idea that gelli printing was only a stepping stone. So if you look at some of the artwork in the exhibit, it's not just gelli printing, it's also collage. It's also using other mediums like pen, acrylic paints, painting on top, and layers, and one even being printed on canvas. So Embodied talks about the idea of healing in a way that ties in and brings in something that's not easily recognizable. So I didn't want to do faces, I didn't want to do representational emotions. I wanted something to feel almost feminine and light and layered, because healing and the journey that I've gone through, which I know it can be relatable to a lot of people, specifically women, there's layers to this. So as you look through Embodied, that's kind of where that came in, and that's where the collaging and with gelli printing, building layers, just felt right. It felt like that was kind of the route that I wanted to go as an artist. So when I stepped away from teaching, I was on the fence of where I was going to move to, and obviously I moved here to Fayetteville. And when I moved here, I knew that I wanted to immediately dive into the art community in the area. And as a teacher, and being from here, I had already knew about the Arts Council, but I didn't really fully understand a lot of the opportunities that they offered. So it took me looking up and seeing galleries that were in my area and coming to look at some really good exhibits and openings that the Arts Council had, and then networking and meeting people that I've realized that there was not only grants, but the Artist Spotlight Gallery was an option to apply for. And knowing that this was something that I wanted to do full-time, that I was devoting all of my energy and effort to being a full-time artist, I obviously took that opportunity to apply for the grant in the Artist Spotlight Gallery. And that was just me trying to be, again, in the arts community in this area. I knew that it was going to be gelli printing, and I knew that this idea of this journey was going to be included in the exhibit, but it wasn't until I applied for the Artist Spotlight Gallery a few months ago that this idea of this embodiment started to really come to light. It's almost as if as soon as I applied for the Spotlight Gallery, it all clicked into place, and some of these prints were being made as soon as I put in that application because something snapped, and I just started printing and printing and printing and printing.